MBRF podcast. Now's guest is Tom Otton, and it's a person that I have 13, 14 minutes of questions for Tom, but we're just gonna have to do with 10 minutes of a podcast. But I know, Tom, we will do a podcast very soon, a much longer version.
We will. There's a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. So, Kreiet,
Yep.
and then an endurance athlete.
Where would you like to start?
Both.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Firstly, you have to forgive my voice. My 11-month-old child decided to stick his fingers in my mouth a couple of days ago, and I think I've got some germs from him. So apologies.
Good germs. Good
germs. Yeah, I mean they're from my baby, so of course they're good germs.
Of course.
So where should we start? So Kreiet is a strategic digital communications agency. 160 people across the region. We've got 3 offices. We work with government, semi-government accounts. We're working with some of the most interesting nation builders across this region. That's my day-to-day. That's my expression of creativity. It's what I love to do every day. It doesn't feel like work. I get to spend time with cool people, coming up with cool things, and we managed to turn that into a career. So,
what's cool? What have you created that is?
Gosh, where to start? Depending on what your listeners find cool. We put David Guetta on the helipad of the Burj Al Arab during COVID, and had a big global audience for that, at about 60 million people. That was pretty cool, working with David Guetta on that. We've done a lot of the work for Dubai Tourism over the last 4 years. So around probably 80% of the content that you've seen go out from Dubai Tourism over the last 4 years globally has been our content. So we get to do cool shoots all the time. We build web platforms for Abu Dhabi Tourism. We've done all sorts. It's a fun place to be.
So you've been in Dubai for 20 years, you said?
Yeah, just under.
And you absolutely love it here. Why?
This is my home. We were just talking off air about let's say some of the challenges that other places in the world. You're from Palestinian Australian, as you said. I'm from the UK originally, and the reality is we go back to those places and there isn't the same sense of opportunity, of growth, of excitement for the future. There's often a bit of doom and gloom, pointing at problems rather than pointing at opportunities. I think Dubai it's an incredible place. It's an incubator. And those that are seeking opportunity.
Guys, we live in an incubator.
We live in an incubator.
That's how cool it is.
That's how cool it is, right? So yeah, that's life. The fact that we call this place home is just magical.
I think it's youth. I think we're one of the youngest nations in the world. And I'm talking about the entire region.
Yep.
And with youth comes energy. With youth comes sometimes less wisdom.
Yeah.
But a lot more
exuberance.
Crazy.
Yeah.
They just want to do stuff.
Yep.
What do you think we should do with that?
I think, look, you can point at the same scenarios with different leadership, with very different outcomes. I think that the leadership here creates a framework to harness the power of the youth and focus energy on facilitating youth. And I think that's why we get what we get. We get an environment where failure is accepted, things can break, but they get fixed. The government can launch an initiative 6 months later and realize it's not what it should be and stop and go in a different direction.
Or change it a little bit.
Yeah, just change it a little bit, tweak as we go. There's that the concept of government being able to move that fast with the exuberance and energy of the youth powering it is an incredible place to be. That, I mean, you think I'll use the UK as an example because it's where I'm from, but everything's got to be debated over and over and over again. It takes 6 years to get anything done. It takes 6 weeks. Yeah. It's incredible. And this is why you just see the pace of growth. I mean, fast forward 50 years, it's obvious who wins and who doesn't, right? It's this environment that's allowing us to move forward and just improve so many areas of life. You've been here for 20 plus years. I've been here for 20 years. When we arrived here, it was a very, very different place, right? Life was just not as easy as it is now. Now there's an app for everything. Do you remember when you had to go to 16 offices with printouts of every piece of paper and you forgot one piece of paper? You'd have to come back next week. Everything was difficult. Now everything is seamless. The digital economy is thriving. When we move that progress and that thinking into the age of AI, it's exponential growth. That's what I'm excited about.
It's I'll tell you, this would not make sense for people that live here, but it'll make a lot of sense for people that don't live here, or vice versa. See, this is a place where I can drive down Sheikh Zayed Road today and look on the side of the road and think, when did that come up?
Yeah.
Or when did that open up? Or when did that change? Or where did that bridge appear from? And that's very normal here.
Yeah.
But that's not, we can't take that for granted. We can't. Because I'll tell you what, this is not normal.
It's not normal. No.
Anywhere else in the world. It's not. Yesterday I was talking to a management consulting entity, and I don't want to say the name because I don't want to say it wrong. But she said something very interesting about a management style, and she says that management styles that lead by parameters, deliverables, results, right? And those realize about 17% efficiency or 14% efficiency. And there is another management style that leads by love, passion, compassion, I understand. And that realizes 17 to 18% efficiency. So the difference between the two is about 3-4%.
Okay.
And then she said, but there is a combination of a management style that uses both, and efficiency shoots up to 70%.
Interesting.
If you use a combination. And when she said that, honest to God, she was talking about companies. All I could think about was Dubai.
Yeah.
And some countries in the region, other countries in the region, like Saudi today, for instance. Sure. Do you feel this is true for this region?
I can only talk about Kreiet at home and the environment that we have, and it's very much aligned with that. We have certain people in the business that are very structured, very focused, very OKRs, KPIs orientated. We have others that are much more creative, free-flowing, try and corral them to get into a room to go in a certain direction. And that is where the magic is. It's a friction between the two. Because if it's all one or all the other, it doesn't work. It would be very interesting to understand how they measured those to get those results. I'd love to know what the thesis is behind that. But I mean, the proof is in the results, right? We've been fortunate enough to grow Kreiet in a way that's outstripped competition, and I believe it's because of that. And if you look at Dubai as a whole and the UAE as a whole, I mean, everyone knows the results. Everyone can see what Dubai has become: the city of the future, the number one city in the world, number one tourist destination in the world. That comes from, there is an inverse relationship between control and growth, and this was something that I was taught early on from a mentor early on in my business journey. Is if you try and control everything as an individual, as an entrepreneur, you control the environment. It's your business. You started it. You decide who gets what information. You can completely control it if you choose to. But what you're doing is throttling growth, because it's only if you've brought in the right people into your ecosystem in the same way that Dubai has, they brought the right leaders into the ecosystem, and you give them the power and trust in their abilities. Only then, by releasing control, do you get the growth. Otherwise, it's very slow. So it's incredible, because you also look at other countries that have an autocratic system, that have complete control, and they haven't released anything, and therefore they're growing very slowly. They're stuck. Whereas in Dubai, those that are in power have power. They're able to move the system forward, and that's how you're able to get the fast pace of growth that we see in the city today.
We live in an incubator.
We do.
We love it. All right. Tell me about ultra endurance, because look, Tom, it's not fair, man. 10 minutes are up.
We can squeeze it into 1 minute before I lose my voice, so I can feel it going.
You need to tell me a little bit more.
Okay, so ultra endurance is. I'm really losing my voice. Apologies. Ultra endurance is ultra marathons. Anything over the length of a marathon. That's the kind of technical definition, but they can go from, a marathon is 42 kilometers, right? So it could be 45 or 50K, or it can be 250K, and everything in between. That's an ultra marathon. So my journey, I used to play rugby for the UAE, for the country. I got injured. I snapped my knee, broke it in half. I wasn't able to play rugby anymore. So I started running as part of my rehab, and I enjoyed it. And I went longer and longer and longer. I did my first marathon. It went pretty well, so I went further. And then I ended up doing some real ultra races. A couple of highlights: Marathon des Sables, 250 kilometers across the Sahara Desert. The Ice Ultra, 230 kilometers through the Arctic Circle in mid-February. The longest single stage race was 137 kilometers in one go. Down in Oman in 2019, 19. And the most recent race was just a few months ago, which is actually the World Championships across the Alps, starting in Italy in Courmayeur and running 100 kilometers around Mont Blanc, through Switzerland, back into France and finishing in Chamonix. So it's 100 kilometers with 6,000 meters of elevation over the course of that 100K.
6 kilometers.
Yeah, and I didn't sit down for 18 and a half hours, and that's how long it took me to finish that race. So that was the most recent one. And look, it's fundamental to my ability to run a business. It's my meditative state. It's my ability to decompress, disconnect. I wouldn't be able to run the business in the way that I do if I wasn't doing the ultras. It's symbiotic.
And it gave him the ability to do the podcast regardless of his throat.
Just got to overcome things, right?
Legend. Tom,
appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate that.
This can go on for a few hours, I promise.
I love that.
And then maybe we'll do that very soon.
I'd be happy to.
Tom Otton.
Let's find some time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.